Hello everyone and welcome back to the Full-Time Podcast. Today we're going through our 2023 Team of the Year and we're going to kick it off straight away with our goalkeepers. We've got the stuff on screen, you'll see all the nominees, and I'm a bit confused why Emiliano Martinez isn't on there. And this is not just because of his World Cup performance, because the World Cup isn't in 2023. The World Cup doesn't count for this Team of the Year. The reason I would have Martinez is because only Manchester City have got more points than Villa, and I think Martinez, one of the best players at Villa, and the things Villa have done over the last year says it in itself. But because he's not on there, and also Vicario isn't on there, you could say that with what he's done at Spurs, he should at least be a nominee. But I've gone with Edison for this, and I know there will be people, Liverpool fans, saying that I should have picked Alisson. Alisson's a better goalkeeper. Over the last year, Edison, I just think Edison's played a big role in City's treble winning, and you can't really pick you can't really pick Alisson when Liverpool haven't achieved. They've hardly achieved anything in the last year. That back end of last season was, on Liverpool standards, poor as well. I think Edison, because he's won the treble, I think he's probably the best one on there. And I know over this whole thing, I will have a tiny Premier League bias because I watch the Premier League a lot more than other leagues. But I've gone Edison as the goalkeeper. The first centre-back, we'll do two centre-backs first, is Kim Min-jae for Bayern Munich. He won the South Korean Player of the Year. I think it's the first time in 5 years that Son hasn't won it. And the Defender of the Year through the 2022-23 season, but through the back end of that, he was the best. And he is a key role in Bayern Munich's defence, is the heart of their defence, and should get some recognition, so I think he should get into the Team of the Year. I know people would have Ruben Diaz. I don't have Ruben Diaz on here, which could be controversial in some sort because he won the treble, but I think with how Kim Min-jae has performed, I think he should get in there and get some recognition for what he's done this season. The next centre-back is Saliba, and when you look at his stats of when he's been playing, they're not out of this world for last year, although the reason I picked him is simply because when you look at how Arsenal played when they didn't have Saliba compared to when they did have Saliba, there's a massive difference, and Saliba is one of Arsenal's best players, and you could say even the best defender in the league at the moment throughout this season. So I think Saliba has to go in there. We'll start with left back from our wing backs. I've put Emerson with a question mark because should Emerson at least be a nominee? There should be a lot more West Ham players in there, I think, because West Ham won the Conference League, and Emerson he's not been recognised as one of the best left backs in this Premier League season so far. And I know I watch West Ham I watch West Ham more than any other Premier League team, frankly. But Emerson needs to be recognised. He never puts a foot wrong. And there's no other. I think you say that he needs recognition because there's not really been many other left backs in the Premier League that have actually got up to their standards. I know Robertson has been nowhere this season when he's usually up there, and I think Chilwell's injured at the moment. Although from those nominees, I've picked DiMarco for Inter Milan. They got to the UCL final, and I think he was a key role in their defence. So I've gone with DiMarco there. Right back, I've gone with John Stones. And I know the obvious answer, which I did pick to start, and then I had a real think about it and thought, well, Stones is a flexible defender. He was, for a good chunk of last year, the key roles to help City win the treble, and I've put him over Trent really because Liverpool, a lot of Liverpool players that aren't in my team, frankly, are there because they didn't achieve anything last season. You have to put that Man City player over them because they won the treble, frankly. A treble winning team, players in there are going to get over Liverpool players. City only conceded 17 as well in the 27 that he played. Again, just saying how good of a defender he was. Kyle Walker isn't on the nominees though. And would I have picked Kyle Walker over Stones? Probably. But he's not in the nominees, and there's quite a few players that probably should have been on the nominees that I'm a bit concerned about. Although Stones is our right back for now. And then moving on to midfield, our CDM is Declan Rice. He was the player, one of the players. I know Bowen was really good as well. He was one of the players, the key players, that back end of last season with West Ham that got us to winning the Europa Conference League. And when he joined Arsenal, it was a massive sum of money. There was a lot of pressure on him because he's a young player, and he's one of the best midfielders in the Premier League right now. I think you have to put him in there as well. Even if you're thinking about it as an actual team that's going to be playing tomorrow, you need a Declan Rice type of player in your CDM. I could have gone with full out good attacking midfielders, but I think Rice has just been phenomenal at Arsenal. If Arsenal didn't have Rice, then I think their midfield would crumble. I said it already is because I don't think Odegaard and Havertz work well together at all. But if Declan Rice wasn't there, I think they'd have a lot more problems than that it already is. And also Declan Rice, I say it all the time, how you don't realise it when you're watching the game, but if you just watch him, the amount of chances that he stops is phenomenal. And that's why West Ham are conceding a lot more goals this season, because he's not there to stop chances that then lead to goals. You don't recognise it when you're actually watching the game, but soon enough, if you just watch him, the amount of things that he intercepts through the middle is mind-blowing, to be honest. The next centre mid is Bellingham. I think you have to put him in, and I think, frankly, the pressure that he had going to Real Madrid, it was the signing of the year. The way he came to Real Madrid with tons of pressure on him and is just cool as ice. He's scoring goals for fun, really, at Real Madrid, isn't he? And I think he has to be there. And then there was, for the next centre mid, he also won the young player award at the Ballon d'Or. So again, just another reason why you should have Bellingham in there. Next centre mid is Rodri, and I think he was the winning goal scorer in the Champions League final as well. I guess you have to put that in there. And also, you can tell how much of a key part he played at City, more because when he wasn't there, City had a lot of problems, and when he was there, you don't recognise it just because of how brilliant City are. But when he's not there, City are a bit slower. They're not as controlled. I think Rodri, if he wasn't there, it would have been a lot more difficult for City to go on and win the treble, at least. So you've got to have Rodri in there. So my midfield is Declan Rice, Bellingham and Rodri. And now we move on to our attack. And I will start with the striker, which is Haaland. There's no discussion needed for that. Top scorer in the Premier League on his first year and treble winner. It speaks for himself, doesn't it? Right wing, I've gone with Salah. I think if the World Cup did count, maybe Messi. And I've left Messi out of my front three. I know he won the Ballon d'Or, but he won the Ballon d'Or because of his performances at the World Cup. And he played half a season, and he played in the MLS, which it's like putting Ronaldo in just because he's the top goal scorer this year. He's in a league where if a lot of players can go and do that, you know. If the World Cup did count, it would have been Messi, but the World Cup doesn't count, so it's not Messi. Even though he won the Ballon d'Or, no, that's because of his World Cup performances. Salah is in there because he's already started this season really well, and he is just crucial for Liverpool, and you can really tell from when he's not there and the goals he's scoring when he is there. I think you have to put him in, to be honest. Right, the left wing. I've gone with Harry Kane, but if Jarrod Bowen was not, how is he a part of the midfield nominees? He's an attacker. I would have gone with Bowen. Bowen over Kane. Sorry, but it's Bowen over Kane. I've put Kane in, right? Second top scorer in the Prem last season. In a Spurs side which came 8th last season and were frankly awful. He scored about, 43% of Spurs' goals all for that whole season. But I would have had Bowen if he was there. Because Bowen, he won us a European title. He scored that winning goal against Fiorentina. He's the top English scorer so far this season. And he is just consistent all year. And as well, if you're thinking about it as an actual team that's going to be playing tomorrow, you'd want a Bowen in there that can make runs in behind. Kane's slow. Kane's slow, and he's a good goal scorer, and I've put him in because he started this season with Bayern really well. But I would have had Jarrod Bowen in there if he wasn't a nominee in the midfield, because you can't change him around. So we'll put Harry Kane in there for now, and let's go over the team. In goal, we've got Edison, 2 centre-backs, Kim Min-jae and Saliba. Left back is DiMarco. Right back is John Stones. CDM, Declan Rice. Our other 2 centre-mids are Rodri and Bellingham. Striker, obviously Haaland. Right wing, I've gone with Salah, and left wing, would have picked Bowen, but I've gone with Harry Kane. What are your thoughts on my team? What's your team? Get in the comments, and I will see you soon. Get your thoughts down below of that. Just watching. Goodbye.